What do you get when you mix a health coach and a wellness coach mixed with a lot of curiosity? You get two people who ask a lot of questions about health and wellness. Today we ask, does a positive attitude make a difference?
We've all been stuck in a cycle of negativity, and that is usually what happens. But can you change the outcome of an event by your thoughts? Let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what? Hi.
I'm really excited to talk about this topic, just off the bat.
There's so many people that I hope listen to this. Is it rude if you send this to somebody and specifically say, you need to listen to this episode?
Well, if it's sent with love, I don't think so.
Okay.
Right?
No, I'm sure. Yeah, but I think some people would be like, what are you saying? I'm not a self-positive thinker.
No, I think if you say, yeah, you're a negative Nelly, please listen to this, that might be offensive, but...
Okay. Interesting. Just a quick question. Is my thing backwards?
No, it's not. Is mine?
No, but it's backwards when I look at it.
Yes, it's the screen.
Okay, then all right. I'm good. It's been bothering me, so. All right.
Yeah,
so how was your call to action?
It was actually really good.
Okay. I'm terrible. I don't remember what it was.
No problem. I will remind you. I
remember. Okay. Go on.
I had made my list of non-negotiables. I printed it out. I haven't put it up yet anywhere. I added 2 more things, which I will talk about later. And then I've been doing it. I've been working on the protein. I've been really been mindful of what and how I'm eating. Like, am I chewing properly? Am I gulping it down? Just taking it slow. There was a day we were traveling and I felt sick because, when you're traveling, you tend to eat garbage in the car because you're bored. And so the next day I took it really easy. I ate lighter. I ordered less food at a restaurant, which was on my list. I did most of the things. And there's something that's shifted in my mindset in terms of I wanted to do it. I wanted to be proud of myself. I wanted to say, yeah, these are things that I can accomplish. And I feel really good that I did it.
Good. You sound like you're proud of yourself.
I am very proud of myself. I didn't move a couple of days because we were in the car.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'll get back to it. I'm not worried.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
I really am. I think that's great.
I was very happy with it.
So it didn't feel like too much? I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off there. But did it feel like you had so many?
No, I think these were all things, like I said last week, that were doable for me and were just, they were manageable. I think a lot of them were connected. Like if I go out to eat, I have to make sure I have protein. I want to drink water.
Yeah.
Like they're all connected. So there isn't one from this list and one from that list. And
that's a good point. They are, if you really think about them, they're intertwined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And you feel successful. That's all that really matters, really. Like, if you feel successful doing it, then that's important.
Yes, absolutely.
You're more likely to do them.
Yes, absolutely. How about you? I kind of forgot yours, too.
Wait, but you were going to say something before I interrupted you. Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, if it comes back to you, interrupt me. How about that?
Sure.
So mine is going with my self-care February. And all about taking care of myself. And or whatever, however you want to word it. My call to action was to book a massage. And I do have one tentatively scheduled.
Okay.
Reached out and did all that. I just have to fine tune the details. Mm-hmm. And then I got a pedicure.
Ooh, how was that?
It was great. It was great. My daughter and I had a great time. She went with me. We had fun. It was nice. It was relaxing. So it was nice.
Okay, what color did you get?
I got like a mauve.
Nice. Very nice.
I didn't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It's very pretty. And my daughter got like to match her dress was like an burgundy.
Okay.
Like a really deep purpley red. It's very pretty. But
she went to a school dance, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good,
it was fun.
Good. I'm so glad you did it.
I know. I can't believe I did.
And when is your massage scheduled for?
Tentatively the day before President's Day. So was that the 17th or something like that?
Oh, very nice. So soon.
Yeah. And I'm getting my hair done this month too.
Oh my goodness.
So really now I only need like one more thing and then everything. I'll have 4 things, one for each week of this month.
That's fantastic.
I know. I can't believe it.
Have you thought about the 4th thing or are you still thinking?
No, I have. I think I'm going to buy brand new underwear.
Excellent.
I think that's self-care, right?
I think that's one of those things that you're like, oh gosh, I have to buy underwear.
I know.
And it's just I can't remember what I like. And with women's underwear, it's so different than men's. Men's is
Mm-hmm.
one of three choices.
Yeah, and you're like, you don't want to, like, you don't want to go up a size, and you don't want, like, it's just, there's a lot of emotions tied to it. For
Yeah,
me, there are. So, I mean, that's just my thought right now. I don't know for sure if that's what it's going to be, but I think so.
I like that one.
So,
That's
anyway, so
fantastic.
what are
Okay.
you loving right now?
So I was thinking about what I really wanted to share. And I like to, as you do too, things that I really use. And there's an app that I use quite often because I have trouble staying asleep or getting to sleep some nights if I'm stressed or worried. So I use this app called Insight Timer, IGHT Timer. And there is paid versions. I use the free version and there's all kinds of things on it. There's like music and stories and positive stories and morning things, but I use it for sleep and there's so many different kinds. There's like a 10-minute, a 20-minute, an hour,
Are they
whatever.
stories?
No, they're just like meditations and it depends like
Oh,
if it's
okay.
a positive message you want to put in your head or a relaxation for your body. I'm sure there's a million other apps. This is the one that I use. But
Okay.
I find it on some of those nights when I can't get to sleep, it has really helped me. Really,
Cool.
really helped me.
And is it, you put it in earbuds, or do you just play it through your phone and let your
No, I
husband hear
don't
it too?
wear, well, I usually go to bed before him,
Okay.
or he might fall asleep on the sofa, but I'll just put it on sort of low volume. I don't want it to be too loud that I'm actually
And it
focusing
goes
on it
off automatically.
automatically.
Do you have to have it on, or can you turn off so that, like, I don't like any light?
Well, I wear my eye mask,
Oh,
which I've
that's right.
talked about before, but
Hmm.
I think you could probably turn it off and it would still play the audio.
Okay.
But I think
Insight timer.
yeah, and there's other ones definitely you could use and find, but I like this one. It's simple to me. I've used it. It works for me, and
Okay.
it's free.
What does the app look like?
It has a bowl as their icon.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, that's exactly. Because sometimes we're like, there's like five of them that are similar. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's like a bowl
Yeah.
icon.
I think if you have, and it could be you need a pep talk on your way to work, or it could be you want a distraction. There's lots of different things that I have not even explored. I just do the sleep one, but I think if you like to listen to things like this, it could
Mm-hmm.
be really good. So,
Very good idea. Thanks for that tip.
yeah, I
Good.
use it, so I like it.
That's what I think is important, is that we use the stuff we talk about.
Right, right.
So, great. All right. So, how positive are you today?
Today, I'm feeling very positive. Yes.
Do
How
you
about
think you're
you?
positive most of the time?
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna give you a really silly example, but I believe this to be true. It's
Okay.
gonna make you laugh. I know it is. It's making
Okay.
me laugh already. So, you know when you go somewhere like a church picnic or an event and they play bingo?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that where you go somewhere and they play bingo, like adults and kids and
Yeah.
everybody? I always think I'm gonna win.
You do.
I always think that. And
Okay.
I have won most of the time that I've played.
Really?
Yes. I go into it with I'm gonna win. And it can be just a line or, a diagonal or whatever, however they play it. I always win something. Last time I won $10. The time before I won a Target gift card. I win. And I think it's because I believe that I'm going to win.
Okay. I don't know if I ever do that. So that's interesting. I'm not negative. I'm not like, "Oh my God, what a waste of money this is going to be." But I don't think I think about it. I
You
probably
don't.
say, "Oh, it would be so nice to win."
Hmm.
But I'm never like, "I'm gonna win." You know what I mean? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
So would you categorize yourself as a positive, a
I do
negative, or
think I'm more
neutral?
positive. I'm more on the positive side, I would say.
So do you tend to say everything's going to work out, it'll be fine?
Yeah, I tend to say that more often than not, I
Do you
think.
get negative looks from people when you say that?
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah,
Oh
don't
gosh, you're so positive. Oh, it's not.
yes. However, I feel like there's sometimes like a difference between positive and realism, like being real. So I'm going to
I'm
give you an example. Like I'm just going to put it out there. I doubt she's listening. My there's the boss at school, and we were waiting for her to tell us something, and I was like, there is no way in hell she is going to get back to us on this. So I guess that's a negative way of looking at it, right?
Oh, did she?
But I'm being realistic too.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So where's that fine line? I guess you could say that's negative of me, but I also was like, there's no way in hell she's going to get back to us on this. And
Hmm.
no, she didn't. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a tough,
Yeah.
but in the grand scheme of things, I would say I are more positive.
Yeah. I think I'm very positive in general.
Okay,
I
very
think
positive.
I think I get convinced by people to be negative.
That is cool. That's a very cool way of saying it. It's not cool in general, but like a cool way that you say it.
To,
What
to
is, like, what do you mean though? Tell me what you mean.
like if someone says, "Oh my God, we're gonna be stuck in traffic, we're gonna miss our flight, we're gonna be late, we're gonna blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, this is awful. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, it's not gonna work out." When I'm generally like, "You know what? It's gonna work out. If we miss our flight, we'll just catch another one, or we'll
Right.
go back home." Or I tend to just like everything's gonna be okay, and people get so mad at me that I'm convincing myself that I need to be like, "Oh yes, it's gonna be awful."
Yes, I hate that. I know when people are like, okay, all right, whatever. It's not always going to be perfect, all right?
Yeah, you and your attitude, you think everything's happy-go-lucky. But I think I tend to, and I have become that way more so as I've aged.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just tend to, it's fine. This is part of my journey. It's
Mm-hmm.
important for something. Even if it's a negative experience like having cancer, I still think it was meant to be and I needed to learn something from it and it changed my life for the good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think of it that way. I don't think, yes, there's pain and I had to go through a lot, but
It's okay.
it's okay.
You're okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm better for it.
It's hard though to do that. And I also get, tell me if you get this too. If somebody's very negative and telling me something, and I try and reframe them and make them think of the other way, they're like, well, you never take my side.
Yes. Oh
And
my
I'm
God.
like, this is not about taking sides. I'm just trying to help you realize that, like, I'm letting you see it from the other way. Like, do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes, I do. If
It's
someone
never, you
isn't,
never take my
you
side.
never take my side.
Yes.
If someone is on the road and they are trying to merge, and I'll say, "Oh, let them in." And they're like, "Why? I should not let them in. They shouldn't wait till the last minute. You're not taking my side." And, it's not about any of that. I just don't want any trouble or drama. I don't want my blood pressure to go up.
But it's so funny how, like, I'm going to just say this, and it's probably going to get me in hot water. People that are negative generally are very defensive,
Yeah.
right?
Do you think that's a learned behavior?
That's a I think it could be genetically there, but I
Mm-hmm.
think you can spin it and I think you can get out of it.
I
But the
agree.
number one thing I found out when I was looking at this power of positive thinking is that we all have to realize that it takes time and it's just like any other habit, you
Mm-hmm.
have to work at it.
Yes,
Like none of us could just wake up and decide we're going to drink 6 bottles of water a day. We have to work at that habit.
absolutely.
And it's the same thing with positive thinking. You have to work at it, and it is not just click of your hands usually.
Yes. Especially if it's not very natural to you. If you're a glass half empty person, you want
Yeah.
to start seeing it half full. How do you do that? You have to practice it,
Yeah.
but it can
That
be done.
it can be. And I think it becomes more normal, don't you?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
Maybe not though.
I agree.
All right, so tell me where you started when you were looking up power of positive thinking.
Well, so where this started was I'm taking a class and she was talking about this experiment and she said, "Look up this experiment." I was like, now I'm curious because, that's what we do. We always want to know
Mm-hmm.
the why about everything. So I looked it up and I'm going to read this to you because I thought it was
Okay.
super interesting. So there was an IKEA live experiment in the Emirates. Okay, so this obviously was far away, but in
Okay.
this plants were installed in the school and they were all given the same sun, water, fertilizer, everything was the same.
Okay.
Okay. One of the plants was fed compliments. You're
Like they talk to it
awesome.
nicely.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You're awesome. You're great. You're healthy. The other was verbally bullied with hateful words.
Okay.
Okay. You can guess what happened.
Mm-hmm. The plants that were positive spoken to were flourished, right?
Yes, they were strong and thrived, and the ones that were bullied looked dull and unhealthy.
Really?
Yes.
I so want to try this with some of my plants.
I'm sure plenty of kids have done those seventh, eighth grade science
Yeah,
experiments with this.
right.
And
It's
I've heard people saying they talk to their plants, they play music, and they
mm-hmm.
thrive in that kind of environment.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went to what other kind of experiments have they done? Because maybe that's like a
Mm-hmm.
one-off. But there was one study in the American Journal of Orthopsychiatry. I don't know what that specialty is, but
Okay.
they found that people who have high levels of positive thinking were more likely to walk away from stressful life events with a higher sense of meaningfulness of life. So there's a purpose for it, is what it means. Two
Wow.
more. People with a family, for this is from hopkinsmedicine.org, people with a family history of heart disease who also had a positive outlook. So it's in your genetics. You may or may
Right.
not get it, but if you say, whatever happens, happens, I'll be fine. They were one-third less likely to have a heart attack or other cardiovascular event within 5 to 25 years than those with a more negative outlook.
A cardiovascular event. Like that's your
Event.
heart.
Yes,
That's pretty cool though. That
very cool.
just trying to be very positive, right?
Yes. The
I
language you
mean,
use about yourself, the language that you think in, all of that
mhm.
is impact.
I think from the minute you get up too.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, I think the minute you get up, you have to start the positive thinking. Like,
Hmm.
if you get up and you're going, God, I'm so tired. Guess what? Your brain's hearing that you're so tired. And
Yes.
it's not going to wake up so quickly. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, it
Yes.
starts from that first sentence you say the minute you get out of bed. And if
It's very
we're
true.
starting our day going, oh my God, I don't want to go to work. What? Like, we just put ourselves in a negative frame of mind. And I think a lot of us are starting our day that way without
Or, oh,
realizing the
it's
power.
it's a Monday. My gosh, it's gonna be so tough. Or, oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
raining. It's gonna be a gloomy day. Or,
Yes. Oh, it's so cold. Like, I think a lot of us are literally starting our day in the wrong headspace,
yes. Yes.
right?
I totally agree.
So, all
I
right. So,
was, go
I got
ahead.
to tell you though, I wanted the exact definition of self talk before we did anything else. So I'm
Okay.
like, what is self talk? You know what I mean? Like, so the exact definition is it's an endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through your head.
Oh, okay.
Endless,
Yes.
which is interesting to me. They can be positive or negative, and some come from logic and reason, and some come from misconceptions that you create.
That's kind of deep.
It's a deep definition, which is why I was like, okay, so our self talk is happening all the time in our head, and we should probably start being more aware of it
Right.
because it's happening. It's happening no matter what.
Yeah.
We just need to start listening to it a little more or forcing it to say the better things.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Wow.
All
I
right.
really
So,
like that.
I know it was. I really liked that definition. All right, so tell me, what do we do if we? Well, what do you, I don't know. Where do you want to
Okay,
go?
so what I
Okay,
was
tell
looking
me.
at the physical benefits, physical,
Okay,
emotional, mental benefits of having a positive outlook on life. Like how
okay.
can it actually impact you? Is it all talk? Is it all just fluff? I wanted to know, is
Mm-hmm.
it real? Does it have an impact? And can it change the outcome of what happens?
Like your bingo.
Yes, like my
Okay,
bingo. I know it's silly, but I believe it to be true.
I love that.
So it can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. It can
Okay,
improve mood and sense of well-being. It
okay.
can
Mm-hmm.
lower your risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart disease, and lung disease.
Mm-hmm.
It can strengthen your immune response and lower blood pressure. It can increase life satisfaction. It can
Okay, I
improve
didn't have
your
that one down. Yeah.
relationships and it can stimulate creative thinking and problem solving.
I have a couple more to add to it.
Okay.
You can have it causes a greater resistance to illness.
Yes.
Okay, did you say that one?
Immunity, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear that
No
part.
problem.
Did you say it lowers your stress hormones?
I didn't say the hormones part, but that's definitely good to know.
Okay. And also you get better coping skills. So there's really a lot of benefits to it.
Oh, yes. Their research indicates, I don't remember what site I found this from. I should have written down, sorry. A positive mindset can significantly change the outcome of situations by influencing your actions, resilience, and overall approach to challenges. And the example they gave was there's two people applying for a job, okay?
Okay.
The first person says, I'm not going to get the job. I'm not, it's my luck. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
This person wakes up late. The shirt they wanted to wear is wrinkled. They are just get there. They have a wrinkly shirt. They're so focused on their wrinkly shirt that they don't answer properly. So then they don't get offered the job. The second person has been preparing, practicing. Their clothes are laid out and ironed. They go in with some level of, for lack of a better word,
Confidence.
confidence.
Okay.
And they're very focused on their answers and how they're interacting. They get offered the job.
Okay.
So your actions will then affect how you
Yeah.
prepare, what happens next. It lowers your stress, lowers your cortisol, as you said. So I think it really works. I was listening to this podcast and it was not the same topic we're talking about, but it was talking about grudges and anger. And he said something interesting, which is anger immediately creates the dopamine response.
Okay.
Because your body is anticipating an outcome.
Okay.
Like you're
Anger does
angry.
this?
Yes.
Okay.
You're angry and you get a little bit of a high from the anger. And then because your body or your brain thinks there's going to be a resolution, so everything's going to be fine.
Okay.
But if you don't let go of that, then it's like you're going to crash because the anger, you think it's good for you, or the negative thinking, or you could apply it, I think, to anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get the job, or this is going to be
Yeah.
awful, and then it sort of feeds on itself. I don't know. I
Gosh.
thought that was really interesting.
There's so many real life situations that I think of everything you said, and I can be like, oh, I know somebody just like that. You know what I mean? Like I think it becomes a habit that you're
Hmm.
negative and a habit if you're positive. And if you're always around it, you're going to be it.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's what I was saying, that I get manipulated into
I
being
know.
negative. That just means I'm not strong enough. I don't know what that means, but
You know what? I get flack for saying this a lot of times, but the cartoon Charlie Brown.
yeah.
Charlie Brown is a very negative cartoon character.
Yes. Yes.
Very negative. And I
Yes.
used to call my son that a lot. I'd be like, "Oh my God, you're just like Charlie Brown. Like you're just, and I think that realistically we need to look at that and go, gosh, yeah, he was negative. Because we have to point it out to ourselves when we see it.
Yes.
I think that's the important part too. Like
Yes.
notice it when somebody else is doing it. Notice it in characters that we're watching.
Yes.
Notice it, and then we can go, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by negativity, or no
Yes.
wonder why I'm like this, or whatever, you know?
And on the flip side, once you see that, to start surrounding yourself with people who are
Positive.
more positive and more
Mm-hmm.
affirming. And I think when we had interviewed Dana a few episodes ago and she was talking about positive affirmations, that's what this goes with. Is
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna what's her words? I'm gonna rock this today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I
So
think it's important. I do. But there's so many, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say men that are very much, oh my God, all right. Yeah, you think it's going to work if I just look in the mirror and tell myself I'm great? Like, then they won't even try.
yeah.
They won't even try it.
I think a lot of people are like that. I don't want to single out only men. I think a
I'm
lot
going to
of
say the
people.
people I know. There you go.
Okay. Okay. I think a lot of people, because like you said, it becomes a habit
Mm-hmm.
and you're just used to it. You're used to this way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking we could go through a couple of scenarios
Okay, tell me.
because
Give me
I
one. I love this.
I found a list and I thought, well, I don't really like this list, but there are things we've heard or we
Okay.
experienced that I thought we could sort of, once it's a negative, how do you flip it into the positive?
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay.
And suppose I went to a Super Bowl party and I ate all the food and I feel gross. I feel
Mm-hmm.
disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And the negative talk has already started. I
Mm-hmm.
feel gross. I'm a big
I can
fatty.
never stay
I
on track. Yeah.
I'm just might as well eat everything because I already ate like two cookies. I might as well eat the
Mm-hmm.
pizza and the cake and the I don't know whatever else.
That's important too, is like in the moment that you're eating the stuff at the Super Bowl party or a birthday party, is catching that negativity,
Hmm.
that negative self talk.
So what would
That's
you do?
important. Like if I woke up today like that,
Yeah.
I would be like, God, I feel so fat. I would say that. I would probably say that. Which is that negative self-talk or is that telling you how you
Yes.
feel?
No, it's a negative self-talk. How could you flip it?
Gosh, I ate so much. I don't that's a hard one because I feel like I'm also being truthful.
Hmm.
So is it really negative if you're being truthful? Do you
I
know what I
think
mean?
that's semantics because I think it is negative self-talk. See, for
Okay.
me, this is where I would come into this.
Okay, tell me.
I'm not saying I do this 100% of the time, but if I ate a lot yesterday and I felt gross, I would say, okay, I need to drink a lot of water today. I need to eat a lot of vegetables and maybe eat lighter because then I'll get back on track.
Or wake up immediately going, all right, the plan today is
Yes,
water and this for breakfast and then this.
yes.
Okay. I can see the difference. I can totally see. And I probably have never done that. I'd probably wake up going, oh, I feel so fat, but let's get da 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 the next thing going. And I need to
Hmm.
just not even say that first part.
Yeah. Well, because you're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to go somewhere and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe do it in moderation so you're not sick, but you have to
Yeah.
monitor yourself. If you're happy, good.
Yeah. God, I never realized how that is negative.
Yeah.
I always looked at that as like I'm just stating how I feel.
Yeah, but that feeds itself,
Yeah, it does.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You say we have our weigh in day on Wednesdays, right? And say you got on the scale and it was up 3 pounds. What would you say?
I'm gonna take Dana's. I'm gonna make that scale my beep. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think where I might go is, and I think I've done this, is okay, am I eating a lot of salt? Am I drinking enough water? Let me see where I
Like
can course
analyzing.
correct. Yes. Can I course
Mm-hmm.
correct? Where do I need to tweak this so that I can have a better outcome?
Yeah, yeah. That's probably what I would do after I get, you know what? I'm gonna, make this scale my whatever and then
Okay,
analyze it. Go ahead.
I have another one that used to happen to me. Now I don't care.
Okay.
Suppose there's an event happening with a lot of people that you know and you're not invited.
Okay.
What would you say?
Thank God.
I
That's what I would say.
love that. That's where I am now. Before, though, I used to
Yeah.
think, what's wrong with me? Why am I not invited? Why am I not the only one who's not there? I used to be of that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong with me.
Yeah.
But now I'm
That
like,
I think that comes from like maybe you gained some more self-confidence too.
or maybe I don't really want people in my life who don't want to invite me.
Now, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need a lot of people in my life. I just need people who really want to be with me
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy me as I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Like that's positive self-talk right there.
But it changes how you look at something because then you might obsess over, I see all the Facebook pictures and everybody had a good time and why wasn't I there? And I'm the only one that's not there. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole spiral that happens and you obsess and you look at other people's pictures and you look at this and comments and
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's social media. Yeah.
well, now it's social media. Before it was people telling you, oh, did
Yeah.
you go to their party? Did you go to their house? Did you?
Yeah.
Thanks. No thanks. Okay, suppose you've been working really hard at work,
Okay.
expecting a promotion.
Okay.
And when the time comes around, they don't announce your name for a promotion.
That's a hard one because, like, first of all, I want to tell everybody that the reality of it is it's okay to be mad. You have to get mad because you worked your hard for it and you don't feel like you were ignored.
Hmm.
But I think you need to allow that mad and that anger, but then I think you got to immediately go, this wasn't the position that was meant for me. I'm meant for something else.
Yes.
Maybe
And
something bigger and better.
maybe it's not personal. Maybe it
Right.
has nothing to do with you.
Right, right. Or, and that's actually the reality is like a lot of us are guilty of making things about us, and it's not. It's
Hmm.
not always about us.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What would you do in that one?
That's a tough one because it does feel personal. If you're putting your heart and soul into a
Mm-hmm.
job, which most people do, you work
Mm-hmm.
10, some people work 12 more hours a day. Your whole life becomes your job. So it does become personal.
Right.
But I think if in that point in the road you didn't take that turn, I think you're right that you're meant for other things. Other things are
Mm-hmm.
waiting for you, bigger, better, more
Mm-hmm.
meaningful. And we just have to look ahead instead of saying, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, are you kidding me? This company sucks.
Right. Or they don't like me. I knew it. It's always, whatever. Like, yeah, the
Yeah.
stupid boss or whatever it is. Like, you got to look at it from a different standpoint.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even if all of those things are true, that's not going to be helpful. Like, even if
Yes.
your boss really doesn't like you, and even if your boss really is a jerk, and even if they picked somebody because they were friends with that person, like, saying all of that isn't going to be helpful. You have to be like, thank God I didn't get that then, because they clearly, if they like that person, then I wouldn't have fit for that job. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, really trying hard to look at it in a different way.
And that person could be the boss's niece. We don't
Right,
know.
right, right.
So it may
Exactly.
be something else.
Mm-hmm.
I
True.
have this thing when this is another one of my silly things, but when we're on the road freeway and someone's really, really speeding and they're
Mm-hmm.
going like not driving well and unsafely, and people are like, "Oh my God, can't you see that person?" I
Yeah.
always say, I think they really have to go to the bathroom.
That could be true too.
I know, but that's the way I tell my mind. Look, they're driving that way because they have a reason, and it
Mm-hmm.
could be they don't want to wet their pants.
Or other things in their
Other
pants.
thing,
Yeah,
oh yes,
right? No, that's true. Instead of calling them names and being negative about it, like maybe there's an emergency.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's
I,
funny.
I think it's funny. I think we both had looked at this list for how do you know if you have negative thinking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I have a whole list of it.
What did you find?
Well, I found a couple things that you did was the first way is if you're filtering,
Hmm.
which basically means you look at look at your day as a whole and you only can pull out the negatives.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're like, and you go, "Oh, there's no way that's the only thing that happened to you today was that
Hmm.
one little thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
so and so didn't say hi to me in the hallways. Can you believe that? They looked right at me and they kept walking. Well, that's not the only bad thing that happened.
Right, right.
Personalizing, just blaming yourself for everything.
Hmm.
Do you do those? Do you do that?
I used to. I'm shifting my thinking away from that because at least 60% of the time, it's not anything about me.
Right. Catastrophizing.
Hmm.
How many? I think yeah.
Yeah, I
You and
ate one cookie, the whole day's shot.
mm-hmm. Totally
I
going.
always go back to that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Blaming somebody else, saying that person always does it wrong, or you know what I mean? Like putting blame on anybody is a sign that you're in a negative frame of mind.
Or I think even to go further is if you blame somebody else, you're omitting your responsibility in it. And maybe there's something you can tweak and fix to correct the situation.
Shoulds, thinking of everything you should do, and then blame yourself for not doing them. God, I should have done this and this and this today. I did none of that. Like every time there's like a snow day, or you know what I mean? Like I'm always like, oh, why didn't I do this? I could have done that. Like, and then you get mad. Like that's a negative thing. I enjoyed my day and didn't do any of those things that I should do, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right?
It happens to me when I set my alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning. I know you're gonna laugh at me, okay? That's really early for me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a workout in and I'm gonna shower and then I'm gonna go to my meeting and whatever. I don't get up on time. I don't get the workout in. I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. It's fine. Instead of like catastrophizing, blaming, I,
Yes. You're just like, it's fine. I'm all right. It's okay. I'm going to tell you this because I'm struggling with it, but it's in my head. Mel Robbins is number one. She had a list. She put a list of like things we should stop doing in order to be better, or whatever. Stop hitting the snooze button. It's her
yeah,
number one of her top fives. Like, stop. Just get out of bed. And I'm working on that one. I
really?
really, truly am. I'm not working on it on the weekend, but I'm trying really hard to do that during the weekday.
Okay. Wow, good.
I'm trying to see if it makes a difference. I don't know if it will. I'm trying to be positive about it, but she's,
You know it will, but it's just the execution
excuse
of
me,
it.
maybe
Oh
it won't
God.
though. I mean, what's 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out, I guess my problem with it is like, what is the big deal about it?
Hmm.
Especially, I set my alarm a half hour before I really need to get up so that I can hit snooze.
Yes, I do the same thing.
So I'm trying to figure out what is the big net. Why is that so quote unquote? Anyway, I'm off on another tangent. Maybe we should tackle that topic another day.
I think we should.
The last three: magnifying, which is making a bigger deal out of certain things. Perfectionism, trying to be perfect all the time, and polarizing. You're only seeing the good and you're only seeing the bad. Did I miss any?
No, that's a very good list to know if you're being negative.
Or if you're in that negative frame of mind.
So the question is, how do we shift it?
Yeah, and it's practice. It takes a lot of it, I think.
Practice. For me, it's connected to my call to action for this week.
What is that?
So the one thing that I put on my list that I didn't have last week was having gratitude.
Okay.
So
yeah, that was...
I think you already do it, but
yes, I
need to actually practice gratitude every day. And I would love to start in the morning. And I don't need to write it down, but just 3 things that I'm grateful for in the morning. So I start my day off on a good track.
I do it every single morning. I write 3 good things that happened the day before. And I totally think it makes a world of a difference.
It makes so much difference.
And I don't know if it happened overnight, but I think from year over year over year, I'm much more positive than I used to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. It's a practice of it.
Absolutely.
Also, I've read this technique before, but I also listened to a podcast that had this technique, is if you start going down that negative road and you start getting consumed with something, pause, take a couple of really good, deep inhalations, exhalations from your belly, and then think about someone that you really, really love. Open your eyes, and then your thinking is shifted. You could do the same thing with appreciating the positives and not what you don't have. Whichever way you want to tweak that breathing exercise, it could be that.
Okay. I never heard of that one. I like that.
It could be, you could do journaling, you could do your brain dump like you do. I mean, there's so many techniques to practice this. And I think we've talked about some of them before, but I think that's just practice, practice, practice.
Yeah. Affirmations, they say, are really great to put yourself in
for sure.
In a better headspace. It's just, I think really what it boils down to is identifying when you're in it. And that you're negative. Like, get out of it.
Stop, turn, do something else. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So your call to action is to practice gratitude.
Yes.
All right, mine, just told my sister yesterday that I didn't want to tell anybody this because it sounds ridiculous.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you guys because I'm trying to make this a habit, and I've done it for like 3 days now, and it's been helping. Again, I heard this from Mel Robbins, and I don't remember what podcast or anything like that, but she says, first thing in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a high five in the mirror. Did you heard her say this?
Yes.
And tell yourself what you're going to do that day. So I've been high-fiving myself and saying, I'm going to track every single thing I eat today. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at myself and I'm making a promise to myself.
Wow.
In the mirror. Like I'm going to track everything today. And I'm promising myself and I'm seeing myself as I'm saying it.
That's very profound.
And it's been working because then I'm like, oh no, I can't not track. I already gave myself a high five and said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
It sounds so silly.
In the superficial, it sounds silly, but it's so deeply profound.
It really is.
Yes.
But if I go tell people I give myself a high five in the mirror every day, they're going to be like, what? You're a weirdo. But it seems to be working. So I just wanted to tell you all.
Secretly, they may start doing it themselves.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. And it does feel a little weird when you're like hitting the mirror, a high five. Anyway,
it's good.
I've been doing it. So
really
I want to really do it every single day this week and see if it helps.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, good. This was a good topic because I think it reminds everybody for the month of February that we have to be positive with ourselves.
Yes.
And think positive for the self-love to come.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yep. Great. All right.
Have a great week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.